And welcome back to the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Championship 2024 qualifier. Jordan Kent alongside EE and Charles. We've blazed our way through the winner's side of the bracket for the Southwest, and now it's time to navigate the loser's side of the bracket to see who will match up against Teapot in the grand finals. Let's go ahead and throw that bracket on the screen for everyone. It was Teapot, an upset over Shu in winner's semifinals, and then taking care of business against Lisa, a thrilling 2-1 victory. And now it's going to be Fire versus Shu. Fire with Fox, Shu with Zero Suit Samus, Charles, high technical characters flying all over the screen. Being able to rack up those hits and those combos, like you said before, is going to be huge.
Oh, yeah, and this matchup can be a little rough for Zero Suit. Fox just does so much damage and can abuse the fact that Zero Suit is so light. So a lot of these KOs are going to come early here for Fox, but we'll see if Zero Suit can really make Fox pay off stage. We've seen Shu do that to Teapot, but still was upsetted and got put into this loser's bracket.
And EE, you said Shu was the heavy favorite coming into this one, and now has to go all the way through loser's bracket, and then we'll have to do a reset in grand finals. Shu, she is trying to get ready to go the distance.
Well, you know, I mean, I still stand by the fact that I think Shu is favored to win, but you know what? What's the championship without a little adversity on the way there, Jordan? Like an opportunity to maybe make this run through 2 losers matches and then get a reset in grand finals could be a really fantastic day. But either way, Teapot is waiting and lurking for the winner. And it's not a guarantee either that Shu comes out of this. I mean, Fire has shown a great acumen in Smash as well. So, and as Charles said, Fox is not an easy task to overcome. But I suppose when you're willing to take some risk off stage, it can make things a little bit easier.
And it really has been Shu with the early advantage here, Charles, and just that recovery, dominating middle of the stage. But here comes Fire trying to creep back into this. Has to be very mindful about how they approach, because Shu right now is shutting down all the entry points.
Ooh, the second hit of the forward air not connecting. Oh, do you have the double jump? Shu, very crafty recovery going up and over that Firefox. Don't want to get hit, but if one neutral connects here for Fire, that could lead into that powerful up smash for Fox. See if Shu can get some kind of connection. The dash attack not going to connect here. Shu taking some risks to try and get this stock.
Yeah, shield game on point there for a moment. However, can follow up after the one hit. You see the percentages. Any solid connection at this point could be enough to take that first stock of the game, nearly a minute and a half into it. Oh, and there's the string that leads to the first KO, EE.
Finally able to get the KO off of the burial. Well done to Shu. And now 95%, nothing modest right there. And of course, with that hard-hitting power of Fox, you don't want to allow yourself to get clipped up too easily. Another one of those up airs could very well do it. If I'm Shu, I'm thinking, okay, let me get some additional damage as fast as possible. Love the follow-up from the Zaire. Great combinations. This is what ZSS can really do. Accumulate tons of damage and smart to just boost kick out of that situation with Fox falling above her.
Yeah, and Charles, probably the best segment we've seen from Shu so far in this set.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Also being able to rack up so much damage. Another forward tilt able to set up with the illusion coming through. Another down air, and Shu's doing an incredible job. Gets the setup. That's the burn of the double jump. That should be the trade, but the wall is coming in from Yoshi. But it doesn't matter because the plasma whip already set up here for Shu.
Shu, 3-1 lead. How about that? What we saw in that second stock has already taken full control of this set. And now it's just a matter of what can you do to give yourself that advantage. At 154, still hanging alive here, EE.
Yeah, feel like
not anymore.
Up until that point, of course, Jordan. But felt like it took Shu maybe a whole stock to really kind of settle in to what kind of offense we really want to throw out here. And I'm just seeing a lot of rush down, go in, full throttle combinations, which are really paying off. And I think, honestly, too, this stage does benefit ZSS. I think ZSS loves those tri-plats, and that's something that's, you know, just a little bit of an additional game changer, as my man Fire is really struggling to get anything going.
Really just recovering here, Charles, but then can't establish anything when they get back on stage.
Yeah, and I love how Shu doesn't necessarily have to go for the stock every time off stage, like E kind of talked about with against Fox. When you go for these edge guards, you can just get some damage as well. If you get some damage every single time, that is going to add up and be in your favor here. And Shu feels like kind of cranking up the movement, and just like that, the down smash does connect, goes right into the flip kick. And I feel like as every stock went forward, Shu was moving faster and faster.
That was filthy, EE.
That was disgusting.
That was filthy, yes, yes. But well displayed there. So now we're starting to see how dangerous Shu can be, and really what they're able to do on that very first stock, getting all the way up to 154, knocking off 2 of the stocks of Fire. And I think Charles pointed out well, shifted to more of a rush-down mentality and started to be a lot more aggressive.
It's such a net positive, too, because there's so many things that ZSS can do that can maybe leave you, you know, kind of hanging out there, you know, showing a little bit of, opening right there. Fox can definitely capitalize. But but the benefits you get off it tend to be so much. It's such a good risk worth reward situation, and Shu does a great job putting herself in a position to succeed.
Now, where's the adjustment come for Fire and Fox, Charles? Because as EE pointed out, those tri-plats, the smaller stage of Yoshi's story, probably benefited ZSS quite a bit.
Oh yeah, for sure. It looks like we're going to Smash here for Fire, and I think really getting these early stocks is going to be a huge game changer here for Fire. You really need to hit Zero Suit with neutral at around 70 to 80% depending on how much rage you have, and just blow the stock up with the Nair into the up smash, or really get these tech chases, because Zero Suit is that fastball. You're going to be more susceptible to those tech chase scenarios.
Right now, it's Shu and Zero Suit chasing Fire off the stage at this point. Oh, but the trade, however, not quite able to get back onto the stage, EE.
You know what? That's just being a little too overzealous. The Fairs were really connecting and just forcing Fire further and further away from the stage. Just want to finish off with the back air, but went a little bit too low. But nonetheless, you are setting the tone and the tempo yet again, putting Fire on notice that, hey, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get that stock, so you better be willing to match me the same way.
And able to get the tether grab for a moment, and the back throw gets back onto the stage. And so far, that's the difference. It feels like Shu is able to recover and then establish an offensive position here, Charles, versus Fire that recovers and then gets chased down once again.
Yeah, and that's really just utilizing the move that is so strong on Zero Suit's arsenal. It's going to be that flip jump that you can go into the kick as well. Gives Shu a lot of opportunities to go for an offensive move and then position themselves back to the center of the stage, so Shu's able to take a lot of risk, and it's not really going to bite back as much.
Now, hold up. Fire really has gotten back into this on this second stock, trying to even things out here. But again, connected in the air, and just Fire trying to get back onto the stage and being chased down. But now we're seeing a change in tone here. Fire is the one pursuing Zero Suit.
I think Fire's understanding, okay, I cannot just let Shu dictate the pace and be the one leading the offensive charge. Oh, but gets caught up right there. That plasma gun is such a perfect setup. Fox being a fast faller really opens those combo doors and follows for ZSS to hit that much more consistently, Jordan, and you're seeing just reaping the rewards of that right now.
Is it enough to take the second stock? No, so an opportunity for Shu to kind of build up more extra damage heading into that final stock. And this is where, if you're Fire, I imagine, Charles, you've got to be very careful about taking any extra hits.
Yeah, it's going to be so important. Both these characters, the glass cannon type, if you will, very light but very powerful. Okay, there's the two up airs into the forward air, and already Shu racking up a good amount of damage. Connects another down smash, but the flip jump kick not going to connect, but a couple of up airs and so much damage still accumulating on the side of Shu.
Shu, with this victory, will advance to losers finals. Fire just trying to keep their tournament hopes alive and well, and they will not. Congratulations to Shu as they move on, and that is a clean 2-0 and looking like the part of a dominant force here in the Southwest, EE.
I think Shu knows exactly where her target lies, and it's in grand finals with Teapot. 1 down, 1 to go to get that rematch. I'm sure she's eager to fight, but do not sleep on Lisa's Joker. Has had those moments of brilliance that I think are definitely enough to earn her a spot in grand finals as well. Back and forth action is sure to come. Good effort by Fire, but again, I really think it was the difference in just Shu dictating the pace and the offense just flowing smoothly.
All right, let's check out the updated bracket as we make our way to losers finals, which is going to face off against Lisa and Shu. So we've had all unique matchups across the board. That's always fun. And so you're going to have Joker taking on Zero Suit Samus. And early thoughts on this one, Charles, as far as how these characters match up against one another?
Yeah, again, I mean, Joker just going to have very good air-to-air with that back air, with that neutral air, and of course you have the firepower of the Arsene. We'll see if Shu can set up some offstage scenarios here against the Arsene, especially during the up B. That is when you can, Joker's a little bit more susceptible when grabbing that ledge, and we've seen that down smash, right, do so much for Shu. So maybe Shu can line up some kind of combo into that for, some kind of lead and really snowball it into her favor.
Yeah, and it really felt like Shu is playing their best EE when she is hunting down the opponent, not necessarily waiting for mistakes, but being the one that's dictating the tempo. How do you do that against Joker when you know you've got Arsene, you've got counters that come out? There's a lot more things you have to be aware of.
Well, that's the thing. So the Rebels guard counter can be mitigated by just grabbing, right? ZSS can obviously get that grab in there. The Arsene, though, you have to think, okay, Arsene just builds that meter off throughout the battle. Well, I just got to make sure I'm ahead the majority of the time. if you can kind of position Joker in a situation where it's just like, okay, yeah, Arsen's coming through, but it's in a situation where you have to recover to the stage, I think that could really benefit Shu, because I think Shu's edge guarding has been top-notch thus far throughout the bracket.
Yeah, it really has. I mean, we saw that against Fire here, Charles. Fire never was really able to recover on stage and then try to reestablish neutral. Just stayed in disadvantage, and that's a credit to all the different ways that we were seeing Shu read those recovery options.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I think Shu really dialed in terms of the fair usage as well. We saw a lot of times in game number 1, Fox falling out of the forward air, maybe doing the forward air a little too late on the come up of the jump. But we saw Shu kind of doing these fairs a little bit earlier just to get that second hit in, because that's the main one we want to see. And that's the one that ended that game number 2. So Shu really dialing in, really adjusting where these forward airs are going off stage, and they've really been hitting the mark.
And Arsene is going to be the X factor in this EE.
Yep.
How do you best utilize Arsene against someone like Zero Suit Samus that will try to chase you down, that will try to be the aggressor, even though you're going to be having this momentary meter?
Well, I think, you know, if I'm in a situation from Lisa, I'm thinking, okay, percentage windows. Okay, what are going to be my guaranteed combos? Okay, what can I best utilize Arsene for to maximize damage? And of course, too, if I am in a situation where I have Arsene out and Shu has to recover, okay, do I want to throw out a projectile, or do I just want to go down there? You could maybe consider going for the counter. We saw Lisa not scared to throw out that counter for sure. And if you catch ZSS boost kicking up and you have that counter, you can just send her out and she's not coming back. Or maybe you can just line up a back air very timely. There's a lot of good options you can do on the offensive end and defensive end. Just comes down to making the right call in the right moments.
As we said before, this is the Southwest region. We saw a winner for the Southeast region. And don't forget, for those of you that are in the Northeast and the Northwest checking out the action right now, it's still not too late to be a part of those tournaments. Make sure you go visit battlefy.com/Super Smash Bros. 2024. You'll have an opportunity to get a chance to be invited to the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Championship 2024, taking place August 25th. Up until then, though, we've got this losers finals matchup. That's going to be between Lisa and Shu, Joker, and Zero Suit Samus as we set the stage. If we do have that bracket, let's go ahead and throw that up one more time if possible, just because what you want to see is the upset of the day so far. That was Teapot 2-1 over Shu, and then Teapot also taking down Lisa. So either one of our winners from the losers final will get a chance at some retribution. But here it is, Zero Suit Samus and Joker, Lisa and Shu, who will move on to grand finals. The journey begins now.
All right, let's get right into it. Hollow Bastion is setting the stage right here for game number 1. Big fan of the stage, honestly, for both players. I think Joker might benefit a little bit more, so that's going to be really good for Lisa, who does come in a little bit, like I said, on the as the underdog, but that does not have to dictate how things are going to be settled at the end of the day. Joker being an incredibly potent and powerful character, but you cannot allow yourself to be getting bullied so hard on the opening rounds, and gets that barrel right there. Oh, I love that. Just when you can pop Joker up like that, you're really setting yourself up for even more follow-up. Shu, so intelligent with this offense right now, Jordan.
Yeah, the Shu certainly fits early on, just racking up 131. Arsene not able to do anything at this point, and Shu is on a mission, Charles. How about that clean KO in the first stock?
Wow, that was such a great sequence coming out from Shu. Again, lining up these forward airs exactly how she needs to, and just really controlling the pacing. And I think Shu kind of realizing, hey, if I can really up the pace against some of these players and I can really let my experience shine through, can really, really take it so far here, Jordan.
And to your point, Lisa just does not look comfortable at all. Finally able to connect with Arsene, but this is on the second stock. Now able to string together a few more hits. Here we go, flirting with the KO. EE, this is where, if you are Lisa, you've got to get a KO at this point. Can't take on any more damage here on the second stop.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, and the problem is we've seen Arsene a couple times, and Arsene at best, Jordan, has been a bystander, okay? Just standing, an eyewitness, not doing anything. I mean, you got to get involved in the battle if you want to get this W. That's something that Shu understands, but the pressure that she has continued to pile on has easily been the difference maker, and this gun action right now on the right side of the stage still not resulting in anything as Shu reverses the fortune and gets positional advantage.
Now Shu,
KO.
once again, perfect read on the recovery. That's what Shu's been doing, trying to tie this first game up here, Charles.
And I feel like Shu is just kind of ramping up, powering up through this losers bracket, at least for this game number 1 right now. Still rocking 3 stocks in the tank. Arsene or not, doesn't feel like Lisa can get any kind of meaningful hit here. Able to get some chip damage here and there, but nothing to get this stock, and Shu really showing the mobility of Zero Suit Samus, both offense and defensively.
Lisa with Arson unable to do much. Still a 3-1 stock advantage for Shu. Trying to make it a clean 3-0 victory. Looking for a couple of more opportunities. Lisa a long ways away from Arson to try and build up that meter. And now if you are Shu, you're just going to continue to be aggressive like you do right there. Not enough though, EE.
Yeah, I was going to say
that will be though.
I was going to say that there
enough.
is definitely lubing, because at that point, what do you have to lose? Okay, I lose a stock when I have 3, or I turn you into a highlight reel, okay? I'm winning either way, okay? Definitely the right decisions from Shu. A dominating game 1 to open up losers finals. You love to see it.
Now the question is, how does Lisa bounce back from that? Charles,
what
what is the adjustment? Because you felt like this is a stage that, hey, we can go toe-to-toe, but apparently Shu is just in a different form here in this losers bracket.
And I think if you're Lisa, and whenever you're playing against a player that feels more experienced than you, that can kind of control the pace and especially up the pace on you where you can't feel, or it doesn't feel like you can keep up, you want to try to be able to slow down the pace, right? So I think for Lisa, if you're able to slow down the pace, or you could hit upgrade and go from Fighter Pass 1 to Fighter Pass 2. That also works.
All right, well, when it doesn't work with Joker, you go with another DLC character. And EE, thoughts here?
I mean, it's hard, right? Because, you know, you're coming in completely being outclassed in that first game, and then you're picking a character that we have yet to see you pick in this top 4. So, it's, you know, coming in a little bit cold. I'm going to say the first 30 seconds or so is really going to tell me all I need to know. Right now, though, I do like the combinations coming in from Mythra. Obviously, you know, we call her the neutral queen for good reason. She can really lend herself to those players with really good neutral. And you're seeing a lot of control right now switch to Pyra with an attempt to maybe get that stock off early, but shoot, not going to let it happen.
And as always, Charles, it's that going back and forth between Mythra and Pyra as far as do you want speed or do you want the power, and when you time that is what makes some of the best Mythra and Pyra players work out. However, it doesn't for that first stock.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing is knowing which one to use for which situation. And usually, like E pointed out, Mythra, one of the best characters, if not the best character for a neutral game. And usually, your Mythra is always trying to set up your Pyra, right? You want to win neutral with Mythra and then set your opponent up off stage or on the ledge and really let Pyra's long, active hitboxes that are much stronger do the work after that.
And now it's the switch back, and Zero Suit Samus and Shu looking very comfortable still. 3-2 stock lead at 117, but already racking up that damage, and this has been the difference. Just doesn't KO in the recoveries. And right now it's all Shu with a clear path, just wants to walk into grand finals and making quick work of this loser's bracket.
Yeah, I almost feel like Lisa's fighting underwater, because I cannot remember the last time she had any time to breathe. I mean, Shu has been relentless from start to finish. Even right there was trying to maybe initiate another dare, but it didn't work out, nor did that recovery from Lisa. Back-to-back 3 stocks for Shu is going to power her in to grand finals, Jordan.
So now it sets up a rematch between Shu and Teapot.
Yep.
Teapot was very much on the ropes after a minute, but then with Terry and that go was able to come back. This is going to make it very exciting. Shu right now is playing better than anybody has played all day today over the last couple of sets here, Charles.
Yeah, and I feel like that last set was just a message to Teapot. Yeah. Look at this last set. I'm coming for you.
Well, we'll get you a chance to take a look at the updated bracket as we head to the grand finals of the Southwest. It was Zap in the Southeast earlier today. Who will join Zap as a grand finals victor today? Teapot and Shu. Keep in mind, Shu will have to reset the bracket if Shu wants to get the victory. Teapot and Terry, though, narrowly escaping with back-to-back 2-1 set victories. So, comes down to EE, how well do you navigate the go when you get it? And if you are Shu, can you quickly get that KO and not let go become a factor?
You know, I do look at when Shu matched up with Teapot, and it was the opening round, right? So there is something to be said with that. This Shu we are seeing play right now is clearly the combos are on point, okay? The confidence is there, and the momentum is right behind her. So I feel like with all that in mind, it's going to be for a different showing. You're not going to see a situation where Shu is up 3 stocks to 1 or even 3 stocks to 2 high percent and lets that go this time. I just don't see it happening. So from jump, I'm going to need Teapot to be on their P's and Q's.
All right,
to get this
Teapot
W.
with a chance has to pick up 2 games to win grand finals. Shu will have to win 4 games in these back-to-back best of 3s potentially. And already you see the excellent parry coming out of Shield, Charles.
And we'll see if I feel like Teapot did a really good job of being able to slow Shu down. I mean, that comes with Teapot being a very good player and just the character Terry, right? Whenever you're next to Terry, jab is such a huge threat that you really have to respect it if you're Shu. So we'll see if Teapot can slow Shu down, because Shu has been being really, really fast coming through this loser's bracket, right? The pacing is so quick.
And now we see some excellent spacing coming out by Shu here, EE. Not overcommitting too much after Teapot was kind of controlling the early part of this game.
Well, I think Shu probably realized, okay, yes, there's going to be opportunities to rush down, but I cannot make that my only form of offense, okay? I've got to be able to find where I can get these counter hits and these good strikes in as well. And off stage could definitely be an opportunity, but nice using the crack shoot to just cover some ground, get back on the stage. Stunned momentarily, but that go meter, Jordan, back online, and that can often lead to some destructive behavior.
And Teapot can't recover those, so they each lose a stock. More importantly, that's almost a win for Shu, Charles, because the go meter no longer there. Here we are, equal footing, but Teapot has racked up 40% already.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's a huge W for Shu. Unfortunate that Shu was not able to tech the stage there. Once a knockback is so high, you're just not going to be able to tech the stage there. You can tell by that red splash on the stage. So great job coming out from Teapot, going for the trade at the very least, right? When you're in that dire situation, oh, you can go ahead, get the trade, but look at this already, 70%. Great DI on the side of Shu getting out of these power dunks.
And that's what we've seen from Teapot. Teapot not phased by the speed of Shu and able to almost match those opportunities when Shu starts to commit a little bit more. Teapot quickly closes that gap, EE.
Yeah, I almost thought there might be a little bit of a struggle for Teapot given how much room is on Kalos, right? There's a lot of room for Shu to work with, but those opportunities to close the gaps and find those hits have come way more than few and far between. I'm loving it from Teapot, and yet again, Jordan, right on cue for the KO.
Charles, the precision and reads of those power dunks that time them perfectly, making it look much easier than it really is.
Oh yeah, you're spacing it very well too if you are Teapot. Just these power dunks, so when you land, you're able to go right into shield or into jab, and just spacing them in the areas where it's like, okay, I think Shu's going to set up in the air here. Zero Suit is known for that air mobility, so Zero Suit usually wants to approach in the air with the Nair, with the Zair, right?
Trying to punish the cooldown is Teapot, doing a fine job of reading some of those stun opportunities that you see Shu going for. That go meter on lock. Shu's got to get the KO, and that was critical, EE.
That was actually huge, because if that Nair had come down, that could have been a huge opening of damage for Teapot. So Shu avoiding certain disaster and comes out on top with the stock, and now with a head full of steam. Oh, Shu, careful. Yes, utilize that wall jump to get back safely for sure. Anybody's game on this final stock for Grand Finals. It is definitely heating up.
Yeah, Shu nearly scuffed the Jays there, but able to get back on the stage, and now Shu with the advantage, really pushing Teapot off, and Shu feels like he's gotten a good rhythm here, Charles, of not getting too close, and all of a sudden, those hits that Teapot had on the first and second stock not coming quite as easily.
Yeah, the thing I'll tell Shu is beware of power dunk, because that has been the go-to option here for Teapot to really control the air-to-air. That's going to be such a big deal when you're dealing with Zero Suit. How do you air-to-air this character? Okay, but there's the double forward air off-stage situation going really low, but the kick jump is not going to come through. The go meter is online.
Go meter online. Shu trying to recover. Teapot, jab into the combo, misses it though. Shu able to get out of it. Teapot still pursuing hot. Teapot out of shield, just waiting for that opportunity, sitting at 101. That is dangerous on the final stock for both of them. One game would be huge, not enough though, EE.
Not quite there yet. Anybody's game for sure. That go meter continues to be such an oppressive factor to keep in mind. The combinations you know Teapot looking for, maybe to end this out of nowhere. Got to be careful though, because Shu with the forward air, not scared to commit. Nobody home right there. The shield is up, but again, back and forth. Action we go.
No! The missed input sends it left. You were supposed to take a right at the stop sign, and now all of a sudden that leads to a huge set for Shu. And you just think about how far one initial set would have been for Teapot, and now you've got to win 2 in a row over Shu. A huge mistake there, and it just goes to show you that margin of error is so thin. And Charles, it just was one of those things that happens sometimes.
Yeah, especially with these fighting game characters, sometimes you want to do a crack shoot to the right, but then you get a power dunk to the left, right? It's so many different directions here. So going to run it back to Kalos, and this is where it's going to be really, really hard. Like you said, Jordan, I mean, you got to win 2 in a row here versus Shu, and Shu has been heating up and definitely adapting because that first game was so close. The last time these players played, it was a 3 stock in the favor of Teapot.
And keep it in mind, 2 in a row in which Shu will have a counter pick as far as the stage. That's what makes it difficult. You imagine you'll see Yoshi's story come out if Teapot gets this set. If you're Shu, you don't even want to give Teapot that opportunity. You want to reset it right here, but so far, it is all Teapot out the gate.
Well, I can tell you right now, Teapot definitely came into this a little frustrated at what happened in that previous game, because you'll notice there wasn't even 5 seconds between the end of the last match and the start of this one. Like,
smash that A button.
Run it back, run it back, run it back. Like, not even any considerations. And really, that rage may be aiding Teapot. It's a very sizable lead here in the percentage factor. Shu, though, trying to chip into that as best she can. Get up attack, though, going to keep Teapot safe on that platform. But Shu continuing to bring the offense back and close the gap.
Nice little sequence there by Shu to rack up some damage, still staying alive at 164. Teapot trying to find either that power dunk or that jab leading into the combo. Shu's well aware of that, bouncing around, trying to create some distance and some separation now. Some offstage antics. Doesn't equate into anything, but there comes the power dunk for the first KO, Charles.
Yeah, well-placed power dunk in the go meter. Now online, another forward air. Doesn't get the back air. Offstage situation, power dunk over the forward air, and you're still able to make it back to the ledge here. Amazing recovery, amazing defense coming out from Teapot. And the reward, you're back on stage and you got the go meter.
And it goes into good effect there. Able to get off stage and then planted for a moment. Rolling to the other side, misses on the second jab. Grabbed here by Shu, and Shu trying to close this out, get to that second stock as fast as possible, but Teapot still hanging in there.
Absolutely. Doesn't help either that second hit of the fair did not connect, but getting back to the stage with the aggressive recovery going to work out for Shu. This is a very, very clean match that we're seeing, and Teapot has really done a great job dictating the pace. Those power dunks, ruthless and relentless. Loving what I'm seeing right now, but Shu continues to keep fighting back.
Yeah, Teapot read the retreat very well, but Shu gets back on the stage. That recovery leading into the combos has really been their bread and butter. And right now, both fighters in neutral. Charles, you figure if you're Shu, you got to find those openings and start to rack up a little bit more damage.
Yeah, because every time Teapot gets an opening, makes it count, with or without the go meter, right? So we really got to see Shu get some of these edge guards, because Teapot, any time we see a combo on stage, especially with the go meter, cashes out for at least 50 damage, if not more, if not the stock.
Teapot in control of this set, 2-1 with the stock advantage, racking up some marginal damage here in the final stock for Shu. And at this point here, just doing a fine job as a fighting game character, as a Shoto with that spacing, EE.
Yeah, this is fantastic. Absolutely great response to this. Is the kind of response you want to have after you lose the first game of Grand Finals when you're sitting on the winner's side. It's like, okay, it's not going to be as easy as you think. And there it is.
Okay.
You know our favorite endings, the anticlimactic
ones. The mid-sentence KO to close out the set where you have no option to recover to it. Love it. Sets up a game 3, though, and that's something we certainly love. If you're Teapot, you look like you've been in control here, Charles, but the factor, there will be a stage counter pick here coming from Shu. Right. I imagine I would be shocked if it's not Yoshi's story.
Yeah, we've seen Shu kind of gravitate towards that Yoshi story. Definitely going to be really good for those down air lineups where you don't really have the option to ride the stage and really stationary, making your opponent go to that area, taking that exact route here. We'll see what the counter pick is. And, I mean, great adaptation coming out from Teapot, because you got to imagine Teapot had to have been frustrated, but it looks like we're going to town and city here. Got a lot of real estate to work with and some different platforms switching out about every 30 to 40 seconds.
I lean forward, EE, and place my fingers on my chin, wondering why they went with this decision here.
Yeah, this is definitely one that caught me off guard, but you know what? I think it could have something to do with not wanting to fight Terry in close quarters. You know what I mean? That could be... And I understand that too, because Terry is such a brawler, especially with that go meter being such a problem. Do you really want to fight Terry with go meter with enclosed blast zones? Maybe not. This might be the spacious difference in this matchup.
Charles, let me ask you this. The initial placement of those platforms, how does that impact the heavy power dunk usage we've been seeing from Terry?
I mean, with those high platforms, Terry can kind of retreat to them, and wow, the rising tackle going to take that first stock with the intangibility.
Wow.
Teapot's so on point. This is probably the most volatile platform layout because a lot of characters have combo extensions horizontally to that blast zone. Just like that, now it looks like Teapot able to still recover, and wow, even with the platform, Shu couldn't set up anything there.
Wild. Go meter on point. Shu, if you can get a KO here, it negates everything that happened in that first stock. Don't forget, Teapot was sitting at 66 when they got the KO. Now, both fighters just trying to find some positioning here, E.
Yeah, 100%. And really, for Shu, needs to find that stock. Do not allow, we all remember what happened in their first meeting on the winner's side of things. Do not allow this to snowball out of control when that go meter is present. You know what he's looking for.
Just
and
like
Jordan,
that.
he's finding it. Big hits. And another
the
KO.
follow-up. Teapot
Wow.
is one stock away from claiming the Southwest title. Shu has got to do everything. Don't forget, a victory by Shu resets the bracket.
Yep.
We go to a fresh new set of 3. This is a huge moment right now. Teapot with that go meter at 121. Shu's got to get the KO here.
Yeah, you got to get the KO, and you got to get 2 more afterwards without losing a single stock. This is your counter pick, though. The down smash not going to connect. The power dunk on the shield, pretty safe, but the up B still not going to do it. Terry just so heavy.
Terry, though, however, will get KO'd, and now you're down a full stock. But we've seen Shu rack up some quick KOs. Now without that go meter, Teapot, you will be aggressive, I imagine, EE, but you can't afford to miss too many times.
Yeah, Teapot probably understands, like, look, I have such a substantial lead. I just need to play my game. Shu is the one who's kind of in the disadvantage because has to approach to really make up this deficit. And, of course, that stock difference that we're seeing as well. But scary, you know, luckily for Shu, Terry without go meter, not quite as scary, but, you know, nonetheless, extremely devastating.
Yeah, punishes the miss there, and now Teapot has got the center of the stage.
No
the
way.
power dunk comes through,
Wow.
and a fitting way to close out the Southwest region as Terry and Teapot shock the nation, knocking off one of the top threats in the country as Shu goes down. It was very competitive. It was very exciting, but Charles, Terry and Teapot showing they are a formidable pair here.
Oh, yeah, Teapot really just showcasing that defense once again to really get rewarded on the offensive side. Terry, just one of those characters where if you can recover, if you can get back on stage, you have so many opportunities for this go meter. And again, the way Teapot was utilizing that power dunk in neutral, right? Just really controlling so much of the airspace, and it really forced Shu into really awkward scenarios where Shu had to go for these full hops into the down B, the flip jump, going up and over, and usually ZSS has way more control of that airspace, but I love how Teapot played that matchup.
Yeah, really the reads with the power dunks are what stood out to
Yep.
me. You've got these really hard reads you have to make against a very quick character, and that was impressive from Teapot and Terry throughout all of their matchups against Shu.
It really showed me, you know, I've never gotten an opportunity to actually see Teapot play, but man, I don't think I'll ever forget after that, Jordan. Like, that was a sensational performance. Clearly a well-rounded player, mastery of their character, and no stranger to clearly fighting ZSS, because there was a lot of times where I was like, we're not falling for those baits of ZSS for the stun gun. We're not falling for any of those boost kick shenanigans. Great recoveries all around. That was a season-type performance from Teapot, and it results in a championship well-earned.
So to recap the action today from the Southeast, Zap was your winner, representing that region. For the Southwest, Teapot, hard-earned as well, too. Down 0-1, picks up 2 sets to close out that grand final, closes out the bracket there. They'll represent the Southwest as well. And don't forget, if you're living in the Northeast or the Northwest and you want to be a part of the action, we'll be right back here next week from Seattle, Washington, bringing you those top 4s. You can go to battlefy.com/Super Smash Bros. 2024 for registration information. Well, it was a lot of fun here with you today, gentlemen. We had a great time, and
Always.
we saw a plethora of characters make their debuts, but we will get to the other 2 regions next week. Until then, keep it tuned in to Nintendo Versus for all of your competitive Nintendo action from all of us here in the Evergreen State. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you next week.